Think differently. Know where or on whom to set your priorities right. That's the topic of this video cast, and let me start with a story/episode as I usually do. You fall in love with a girl. You wait for the right moment, buckle up your courage and go ahead and propose to that girl, and she says no. You still can't get over her. So after a week or two, you go back to her and say, I'm the right person for you. Please love me, I'll keep you happy. The answer is still no. A no means a no, and you've got to walk away. Bide your time, lick your wounds, but remember that there's always a person or a few persons who love you more. What does this episode have to do with marketing? Most of our time, we look at that 10% of customers who do not like you, like your product or your service, and try to see how can I convince them, how can I convert them, how can I make them to come back again. Good enough thought, but is the time that you spend on these folks proportionate? You will need to realize that at the other end of the spectrum, there are 10 to 15% of people who really like you, who love your service, they love it so much that they cannot stop talking about it. They talk to everybody near and dear, they go ahead and promote your services or product without expecting anything in return from you. That is true love, I say. Now, your job as an entrepreneur, as an outlier marketer, is to identify this segment of customers who literally love you. Ryan Vogelaar termed super promoters. That's a term that he came up with for this particular segment. And it's your job to identify them, to ask them for feedback and feed them with more information about your new services. That is word of mouth, and word of mouth rocks. Are you leveraging word of mouth? Is word of mouth a key tool in your marketing armory? Identify your super promoters, find out who these 10-15% are who are in love with you, prioritize and energize your focus on these people because word of mouth rocks. It's time for you to think differently, be different, and act different. It's the time of the outlier marketer because the devil does care.